Well, hello students. We are going to go over 2 by 1 multiplication. This is the first skill that we're learning here in class with the standard algorithm. This is different than last year when we looked at the parts. We're looking at the whole thing, just understanding how we can solve this problem accurately every single time in a time-efficient manner. So the first problem here we see, and this is on your handout here, number 11, 24 times 6. The first thing that we want to do is, I'm going to do this underneath, is those 2 squiggle lines, which mean about. We're going to round this number and say, what is this close to? In my mind, an easy number to use instead of 24 is 25. 25 times 6. And if I could count by quarters, 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, and 150, I know my answer is going to be about 150. Typically, it's easy if we can use, we can round to the closest 10. So I could have rounded this to 20, 20 times 6. 2 times 6 is 12, so 20 times 6 is 120. I'm going to solve this problem as we talked about in class. We start with this bottom digit and we multiply up. If there's any that go in the tens, then we move it over. We solve our problem as is. So the first problem here, 6 times 4 is 24. I carry my 2 and bring down my 4. Now I move on. I'm done with 6 times 4. I move 6 times 2. 6 times 2 is 12 plus the 2 from up top. Where I multiply these two together, and I'm going to multiply, and then we add the number on top. 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 2 is 14, so my answer is 144. Now my question is my final answer, the 144, is that close to 150? It is. Okay, so I know that my answer is more than likely correct because it matched pretty close to my estimate. The next question, 77 times 7, I'm going to say, what is this close to? I'm going to round 77 to 80 times 7. Well, 8 times 7 is 56. So 80 times 7 is 560. So I'm going to say my estimate is about 560. Now let's go and solve. 7 times 7 is 49. I start with my bottom number, I multiply it, and then I multiply these two. 7 times 7 is 49, plus 4 is 53. Oopsie, I'll switch over to my pen. For an answer of 539. Is that pretty close to 560? Relatively very close. If my answer was 800, then I would suspect that there was a problem. The last problem I'm going to go over is 14 times 3. My estimate, I'm going to round it, so I'm going to say, rounds to 10. 10 times 3 is 30. It's probably a little low because I rounded down. My estimate is 30. 3 times 4 is 12. And 3 times 1 is 3. Plus 1 is 4. 42. That's pretty close. I'd say that will suffice for my answer. The last skill in this video that we're going to go over is 3 by 1 multiplication. It's the same process. We start with this bottom digit, multiply, multiply, and then multiply. We always move from right to left. Okay. When we start off with our estimate. I'm going to round 174 to 200, a nice number to work with, times 3. 200 times 3 is 600. So my estimate is going to be 600, and I realize it will probably be a little high because I rounded 174 up to 200. We have 3 times 4, which is 12, carry the 1, bring down the 2. 3 times 7, which is 21, plus 1 is 22. And 3 times 1, which is 3, plus the 2 up top, which is 5. 522. It's a little far off, but remember, I really rounded that 174 up to 200. So that answer makes sense. My estimate for my last problem here is going to be 91 rounded. Let's round it to 100. And 6, we can just leave as 6. 100 times 6 is 600. And now I can go through and solve my problem. 6 times 1 is 6, and 6 times 9 is 54. I carry my 5, bring down the 4. And lastly, 6 times 0 is 0, plus the 5 up top is 5. 546, which is pretty close to my estimate. And both of these questions were on your handout in class. Have a great afternoon. Thanks so much for watching.